Now, during the second round of Democratic debates, which included people like, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Michael Bennett, Tulsi Gabbard, and Andrew Yang, and a few others, Tomi Lahren, who's a Fox Nation host, decided she would live tweet. Now, during her live tweets, and that's fine, of course, if you want to live tweet criticism, against some of these candidates and some of their policies, that's fine. Unless, of course, you go low like Tomi. Now, one of her tweets was so bad that even Fox News hosts came out against her. So let me read this tweet. She said, Kamala, and this was at Kamala Harris, did you fight for ideals or did you sleep your way to the top with Willie Brown? Again, this is somebody who claims to be a news host making this ugly, disgusting accusation. Now, look, I'm no fan of Kamala Harris, right? I think her record as a prosecutor is not great, as was pointed out by Tulsi Gabbard. Her Medicare for All plan is not really great policy either. It has a 10-year phase-in period, so it can be easily wrecked by Republicans. A Republican president could undo all of that. It's really kind of a show plan, right? Her student loan plan, as I've talked about, very, very limited. You have to open up a business in a disadvantaged area if you've gotten a Pell Grant and have it operate for at least 3 years, and maybe you'll have some tiny bit of your loan forgiven, right? So these are policy differences that I have with Kamala Harris. I think those policies are terrible. They're junk. They're not really helpful to the American people, right? That's my disagreement with Kamala Harris. Tomi Lahren's disagreement with Kamala Harris is based on an ugly stereotype, right? And it's absolutely super, super gross to accuse a woman of only achieving, and this is a fellow woman, right, of achieving her position due to sexual favors. I mean, it's absolutely gross and disgusting. Now, after this happened, you had Fox News contributor Kat Timpf, right, who retweeted Lahren and questioned why she would bring up her sex life for no reason. Quote, I'm curious to know what you think bringing a woman's personal life into this accomplishes. Men do that enough to us enough as it is. I'm honestly asking. I mean, she's dumbfounded. She just couldn't figure it out. Like, why would you do something like that? That's terrible. And it's because, of course, Tomi Lahren has no legitimate criticism of any of the things that Kamala Harris does. Nothing legitimate. Now, I can come up with legitimate criticism. I did earlier in the segment. But she can't. Because all she thinks about is projection, right? That's what she does. And lobbing some of the worst sexist attacks against a woman because she's a Democrat. Now, let me get to more criticism here. This is Fox Nation host Britt McHenry. Again, these are all conservatives, right? That are saying, holy crap, I can't believe you would say something like that. Now, Britt McHenry recently accused another Fox News co-host of sexual harassment. She said this, quote, do you have any idea how damaging this is to women who've actually been sexually harassed, assaulted, or demeaned in the workplace? How much this weakens our own gender regardless of partisanship? My goodness. Well, again, Tomi Lahren, this is what she's paid to do. She's paid to attack people in some of the worst ways, the most vicious ways. Now, after the condemnations, Tomi originally did not respond, but instead doubled down. Here's her tweet. Quote, ask Willie Brown how Kamala became AG of California. Disgusting. I mean, first, asking the question to begin with, and then doubling down. How bad is Tomi Lahren of a person? And by the way, Tomi Lahren is also a fraud. Now, I don't know if you know that she went through some of her old tweets, before she deleted them. I've been through some of those old tweets before she deleted them. I've seen her do videos of where she admits climate change is real. And where, some of those streets, like I said, she was talking about how she couldn't wait to pop that pee. And yet here she is criticizing another woman and accusing her of sleeping her way to the top. Again, beyond the pale. Beyond the pale. So now after this negative backlash, and by the way, she got ratioed to oblivion, she finally sort of kind of did a non-apology. So let me read that. Quote, and this happened Thursday morning. I apologize for my comment on Kamala's personal relationship. It was the wrong choice of words. There are many other things to take her to task for, and I will stick to those. Oh, it's the wrong choice of words, Tomi. No, dude, there is no way you can construct that sentence with the right words. If you want to criticize somebody, as I do, right, because I criticize everybody, well, then you should stick to criticizing policy. There is plenty of things, especially for somebody who claims to be a conservative like Tomi Lahren. Okay, well, take her to task on her policy positions. Say ridiculous things like, oh, but your free college plan is too socialist. I don't know. You can come up with something. You're allegedly a smart person, right? And I say allegedly. But no, the viciousness is the point. That's who Tomi Lahren is, or at least who she pretends to be. Vicious. I'm not going to say attack dog, right? But she's a person who viciously attacks other people in order to get clicks. That's the whole point. She was willing to sell her soul to, first the Blaze, One America News, whatever, to launch these attacks on other people because that's what a lot of her conservative viewers, followers, that's what they love. They love these sexist attacks. And what gets, riles up conservatives more and makes them go, yes, is when they get a female to attack another female. Or they get a black person to attack another black person. They get a Hispanic person to attack another Hispanic person. You see what they do, right? And Tomi has embraced that role. And in return, she's got fame, she's got power, and a lot of money. That's what happens when you sell your soul.